I want to start with how much I loved the first 4 episodes of Andor. They're so effing good. I just want to throw that out there so everyone knows. I think my favorite part is that there is no Jedi lightsabers, desert planets called Tatooine. It's just all new. It's just an all new section of Star Wars. Can you talk about that aspect of the show?
Yeah, it really is the true origin story of such a great character that we already know and love. I see the cat. Hi, cat.
Right, exactly.
And I think Tony did such a great job of creating these new worlds that are so intricate and so smart and interesting. Ferrix, for example, is a place where sort of everyone is sort of the same. You don't see like hierarchies and economical disbalances. Everyone's sort of a worker and they all sort of share things and trade. It's very much of like a trading system. And there's a community there that you feel it. And there are rituals and traditions that are very much from Ferrix. And what happens to a place like this when they're at a cusp of a revolution? Like, what do you think that ignites? And that's pretty epic, and realizing where Cassian is truly from, and then getting to go to Ferrix and understanding where he lived most of his life is kind of epic to see it and to understand it. It's so real, and that's the one thing that really I just keep saying that word over and over because it truly is so real. It's about people. It's ordinary people that have very little in common, but they sort of are bound together. And it's sort of an imagery of who we are as a society. And it's pretty remarkable what Tony has created.
I never ask the generic question, but because I'm going to air this way before the series is out, like how would you describe your character and the relationship to Cassian?
Bix is someone that isn't afraid of getting her hands dirty. She's a risk taker. She is bold and fearless, and she is a manager at a sow yard, so has a pretty steady life and pretty she kind of has everything under control. And then here comes Cassian, and it sort of always happens. And their dynamic is one that I love deeply, and it was so fun to sort of dig in and play around with it. They're childhood friends, and you can sense that they have a history, and their dynamic is complicated. And you can almost tell that their trust has been built and broken and built and broken over the course of many, many years. Yet she's incredibly caring and incredibly protective over him, sometimes even at her own detriment.
For Star Wars fans, what do you think they would be surprised to learn about the making of Andor?
They built an entire city for us. Like an entire city. I got lost in it. I remember the first day that I walked on set and I was in costume already, which was a coincidence. It just happened that was the day that they gave me the tour, and I was at a costume fitting, and I went over there and I was mind blown. It was an entire outdoor city that exists. Like Ferrix exists. It's not in a studio. It's not parts of a set that we filmed in studio. It is very much a city. I keep saying like 3 to 5 city blocks. I could be wrong. And I also could be maybe under. I'm not sure. I'm not good with distances.
One of the many reasons why I loved it is that it was clearly filmed on location, practical sets. Everything just looked real. It wasn't, it just was very impressive.
I had one scene where they were like, you got to run. And I was like, all right, where do you want? And the director's like, where do you want? Because they could point the camera pretty much everywhere. I was going in one specific direction because Ferrix does have a very specific geographical map, but either in this particular place that I was, both ways would lead me to the same place. So it was like, wherever you want. And that was really cool. I'm like, oh, so you can point the camera everywhere.
When you signed on, how much did Tony tell you about like the full arc of your character, what you'd be involved with? Or was it sort of just like, oh, Tony Gilroy, Star Wars, yeah, I'm going to do this?
No. Tony was very much in communication before COVID sort of happened. So the whole industry sort of shut down, and we were still talking. Tony is a true gentlemanly like creator, where he is very much involved, I think, with his actors and is very open to conversations and is constantly telling me what her journey was going to be like. And I changed this a little bit. He really kept me on the loop even before the scripts were done. And the second that he had a script out, we were all get it first. And even now with the second part, he's already told me, what's going to happen. And that's not usual. He just really wants you to get in that mindset and start preparing your gears to sort of embark in this new journey. And he wants you to think on your own and think as big. So I could sort of then have my own ideas and opinions. I would never give an opinion on his writing, because why would I? I would make it worse. Man, but it gives you the option. And that is that's what is so respectable of him. I'm in awe of that man.
Were you like a big Star Wars fan, not a Star Wars fan before you were cast? And I have to know, once you were cast, was it sort of like homework? I need to rewatch all the Star Wars movies.
It really was. I was a fan. I had watched the movies sort of sporadically and sort of out of order. And I was a fan, but I wasn't educated on sort of the world itself. I'll be honest with you. And then when I got the job, I was like, I need to do my homework. I was, to be honest, pretty nervous about what I was about to join and what I was about to embark. So I did. I watched them all chronologically. I also needed to understand a place and time and the place in history where I was, because I think Bix would know that. And it was important for her to feel smart and to, even though I don't necessarily have to talk about it, but I wanted her to know that. And so that was a must for me. But I think the cool part about this show is that you don't have to be a Star Wars fan, and you don't have to have watched any of the movies to enjoy this show. And that's kind of the honest truth. I think this show really stands on its own. And I think the reason why I say that and the reason why I love that is because, it'll be great for Star Wars fans, but it also will be a great show for people that aren't necessarily so into Star Wars. And hopefully we can drag more people into this wonderful galaxy that we all love.
I agree with you. You don't have to have watched Star Wars. Listen, I loved it. I can't wait to watch the rest of the episodes. Thank you for giving me your time, and good luck with the rest of your speed dating.
Thank you for my speed date. It was good to see you again.
Nice to see you. Seriously, congrats. The show's awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.